Hey guys, how y'all doing today? My name is Franchise Fanatic, and welcome back to the channel. And for you guys, this is another Star Wars The Mandalorian episode review. Today we're tackling the tragedy. And now, yes, I am wearing my Mandalorian shirt, which is pretty cool, or sweatshirt, which is kind of cool. I think it's really freaking comfortable, especially now that it's snowing like a motherfudger. But basically, this is called The Tragedy, and for good reason. Again, this is going to be a spoiler review. Now, the two most important things that happen is essentially Din Djarin, or the Mandalorian's Razor Crest. The ship completely gets blown up to smithereens. In fact, the only thing that survives is his Beskar spear that he won in the previous episode with Ahsoka Tano and the Magistrate and all that. And really, it's kind of funny because it's like an in-joke, I guess, between all these guys, because everything. You know, every 5 seconds the freaking ship blows up. You know, the Razor Crest. Every episode, it seems. You know, kaboom, kaboom. It's just the ship's always exploding. It's kind of funny. This time it actually is destroyed. Now, of course, we get the return of Fennec, who was in season 1 way back then. If you remember, she was in the beginning, but she's kind of dead, and there's a mysterious figure that kind of stoops down to pick her up. We now know that's Boba Fett. Now, Boba Fett is a big player in this show, which is good. The Slave 1 returns. I freaked out. I absolutely freaked out. I didn't really do anything. I just kind of sat there and smiled. But you know, I'm not gonna freak out and go crazy because my parents are watching and think I'm a crack addict, which I'm not. But it's kind of funny because or death sticks, I guess. Boba Fett with his actual Mandalorian armor, and we now know that, or maybe this was known, but I didn't know. It's not new armor. It's actually Jango Fett's armor that he just painted green and all that stuff. So it's really cool that he gets that back and he kind of, you know, beats the crap out of the stormtroopers. This is a shorter episode, but it's really action-packed. Really, Grogu, the child, Baby Yoda. His name's Grogu, so I'm going to mention him that like that. I'm not going to call him really the child, I don't think, anymore, because now we know his name. He's kind of going to this planet, kind of like Star Wars Stonehenge, to kind of, you know, meditate, and this blue shield pops up, and I don't know if he's gaining knowledge, or if he's finding his past, or, you know, whatever, but he's doing something. And Din Djarin, the Mandalorian, is trying to get to him, but he can't. It's really cool stuff. There's maybe it lasts a bit too long, you know. Din's like, oh, get in there, and he tries to get the shield, and he flies back, and then he's like, oh, try again. You know, he tries like 5 or 6 times, you know. I think it's like 3. But he tries a lot to get to this force field, and he can't. And it's just kind of like, all right, come on, stop it. You know you can't do it. I'm not docking anything, because it's extremely minute. It's just kind of funny that they keep showing him. It's like, dude, you didn't do it the first 2 times. You're not going to do it now. And then, of course, we find out that Grogu gets captured by Moff Gideon's Dark Troopers. Now, here's the other thing. Before we go back to Boba Fett, remember that one shot where they were on Navarro and they found like those Bacta tanks and like those guys with like the blue cloning tanks? Originally, we thought, oh, maybe it's Snoke. Maybe it's Palpatine from The Rise of Skywalker. Now, just to clarify, they could do a retcon. They're not necessarily a retcon, but kind of, you know, saying what's up, because we do know that the Snoke and the Emperor Palpatine are both created from the Sith loyalists on the planet Exegol. So that is not Navarro, so I don't think that's what that is. And then we were thinking, oh, it's the Dark Troopers. You know, he's basically he wants to extract Grogu's midichlorian count for some reason. I don't know why they wouldn't go with any other Jedi, but they really want Grogu to kind of, you know, kind of see what's going on and maybe do something with the Dark Troopers, do something with, we don't know, you know what I mean? Moff Gideon wants this little frickin' dude for some reason, and he captures him, and maybe it's really a tragedy because the ship blows up, like actually blows up, and he steals Grogu. Now, I don't think Grogu's gonna die yet. I do think he is gonna die, because think about it, you know, this show takes place some years after Episode 6, Return of the Jedi, so, and, you know, we can't really have any of these characters mentioned, or even, because they're not mentioned and they're not seen in The Force Awakens, The Last Jedi, The Rise of Skywalker, the sequel trilogy. So, you know, Mandalorian, Fennec, Boba Fett, Moff Gideon, Grogu, I'm not going to say they're all going to die, but a lot of them are probably going to die or go away, because, again, you know, they're not in the sequels. So, and Disney and Lucasfilm knew that they were going to make this show when they were doing The Rise of Skywalker, and probably even The Last Jedi. So that, you know, they had to know that, oh, you know, we can't really, you know, because think about it, you know, Mandalorian can't live on peacefully and not meet Rey or Finn or Poe, you know, Holdo, something like that. Maybe they'll do something like that, but anyway, Boba Fett back as being really badass, really cool as well. It's kind of funny, because Jango Fett is actually a badass, you know, he's actually cool. You know, he does things. Boba Fett, at least in the Skywalker saga, I'm not counting the novels and the canon comics, but in the Skywalker saga, really, Boba Fett is kind of like a weaker version of Captain Phasma. Now, I love Captain Phasma. I think she's a great character. I don't understand the hate. Phasma is an awesome character. Better than Boba Fett, even. What does Boba do in the Skywalker Saga? Well, Return of the Jedi, he kind of pats his blaster. He kind of, Empire Strikes Back, he pats his blaster, and then he dies. Or, dies. Luke basically makes a mockery of him, shoves him into a Sarlacc hole, and we don't know how he survives. We kind of have clues in Galaxy's Edge. We have clues in the canon comics and all that stuff, but we didn't actually, we didn't see him, kind of break free of this, I guess, I don't know, this hold of the Sarlacc, and we kind of get implications. Oh, maybe he did this, maybe he did that, but we don't see it. And it's really cool though to see Boba Fett come back and use the armor and rocket guys and blast them and shoot them and use there's wrist rockets. I mean, it's all that, it's all amazing. And it's just kind of funny to me because, like I said, Boba Fett before was kind of a weakling. He didn't really do much, he just kind of, he said, "Get him, Dad, get him, yay!" That's what he did in Episode 2, a really raspy Marge Simpson voice. And then in Return of the Jedi, he's just like, ugh. And then he dies, dies. And then in this, he's awesome. He's cool. He looks awesome. He's the guy that played Jango Fett in the prequels is actually back, which is really cool. I actually just watched Aquaman yesterday. Great film, my favorite of the DCEU by far. And that guy, Tamira Mort, whatever the fudge you say, that's his Aquaman's dad in that film. So it's kind of funny. I saw him twice in one day. But yeah, great episode. I really enjoyed it. Not too much happens. It really is just stuck on that planet Typhon. It really is just Grogu with that big blue thing, and then the Mandalorian, Fennec, Boba Fett fighting the Stormtroopers, and then the Dark Troopers, and then the Razor Crest blows up, Grogu gets taken, and I guess, I really wouldn't call this episode a tragedy, even though that's what it's titled. Yeah, the ship blew up, but he's got the Slave One. Yeah, Grogu's taken, but come on, we all knew Grogu was going to be saved, unless they really pull a Snoke on us and have, like when Snoke died in Last Jedi, not only is it an amazing scene, and it actually does work if you pay attention, it was one of the most shocking scenes in movie history. It's up there with Thanos snapping, I mean, it's just, it's like a holy crap moment, and to see Grogu get taken, it's almost like that, but not quite, it's like Snoke and Thanos are here, and Grogu is like here, it's almost there, a little bit of a distance there, but it was shocking. Again, I wouldn't call it a tragedy, because I do think he's going to be saved, but again, none of these characters in the sequels, so we got to think, what's going to happen there. Are they going to die? Are they just going to go away peacefully? I have a feeling Grogu and Ahsoka's going to die, because really quickly before I wrap up, by the way, the episode's great, A+, 10 out of 10. Maybe, like I said, Din trying to rush the force field one too many times, but that's just, I'm not docking, that's just a dumb thing. If I docked that, I'd be an idiot, it's my own personal preference, it's not like it's actually bad. So again, great, we have 2 more in Season 2, and then we're all done with the Season 2 of The Mandalorian. So, when you go back to The Rise of Skywalker, remember that scene when Rey's fighting Palpatine and Ben on Exegol, and she's kind of face first, and she's like, be with me, and, the camera pans up in the sky, and you hear the Jedi voice, you hear, like, Yoda, Luke, Anakin, Padme, Ahsoka, Mace Windu, Qui-Gon Jinn, Obi-Wan Kenobi, there's a bunch of guys. You actually hear Ahsoka. Now, every single person, unless they pull a fast one and say Mace Windu's not dead, unless, again, they do something like that, every single character that talks to Rey in that scene is dead, or at least, a Force ghost, or one with the Force, except for Ahsoka. Now, we don't know, because yes, this show, The Mandalorian, takes place after Rebels, after Clone Wars, not before Resistance, but there's a lot of stuff in there where it's like, okay, Ahsoka's good, so I do think, sadly, Ahsoka Tano will die in this show, I'm not sure, I think it very well could happen. But think about it, every voice that Rey hears is from a dead person, except for Ahsoka. She might be dead in that time period. During the Rise of Skywalker, she might be a Force ghost. So maybe we'll get to see that in the show. I don't want to see Ahsoka die. She was one of my childhood crushes. She's still hot. And, she's a great independent character, a very independent woman in Star Wars. Not as good as Rey, but she is a very good character, I think. And it's gonna suck to see every time something happens to Ahsoka or Din or Grogu or anyone in this show, because it's not like Boba Fett where you're like, oh, he's cool. I actually give a crap about these characters because I've seen them in other media and through my childhood. And now in my adulthood, I'm seeing, oh man, Boba Fett's back. I didn't think that would happen. I thought he'd be dead in the Sarlacc his whole life. So it's crazy. All this stuff is happening, and it's a great show. And I can't wait to see where they conclude it. Again, guys, Grogu is taken. Moff Gideon has him in his collections. It was great to see Grogu kind of F around and throw these stormtroopers around, the two guys, kind of like push them together and bop them. It's kind of funny. But again, let's see what happens. I'm excited for the future. We got 2 more. Great episode. Lots of good stuff. Tell me what you thought without spoiling it. Do not spoil anything in the comments. But, I don't know. If you can say anything in the comments without spoiling it, please do. But again, I know this is a spoiler video, but I don't want the comments because, again, I say this a lot, but some people just read the comments first and then they watch the video for some reason. So anyway, just, again, tell me without spoiling if you can. If not, don't comment at all. I normally don't get too many comments on these, but it'd be great. Again, leave a like, make sure to subscribe. I will be covering the last 2. Bunch of more Star Wars content. I know we're in Harry Potter month. I have a lot of cool Harry Potter stuff planned. I am still in school. I'm almost done, and my family and I are doing things. So, it's not like I can give you content 24/7, but I am going to be giving more Harry Potter content. And the calendar, Lego Harry Potter gameplay, a bunch of cool stuff. Again, guys, hope you enjoyed. More to come. All Star Wars is good. Thank you, guys, and we'll see you in the next video.